we go. Come on. There we go. Hey everyone, welcome in. Really glad you're here. This is Google Business Profile Audit to Action, the live stream series where I actually sit down with real business owners, where we look at actually what happened after their Google Business Profile audit. There's no theory, it's just real, actual practice in action, and we're talking about what changed, what worked, and what they'd do differently as well, following the process that they've actually been through. If you're watching live, feel free. We'd love you to comment and join the conversation. I'm Ben Bradley from Cosmic Carrot, and today I'm joined by Tony McBride from McBride Coaching. Now, I'm just going to hand it over to Tony, and he will introduce himself um, and explain more about him.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Ben. So I'm Tony McBride. I'm a CV, interview, and career transition coach. And my goal with my business is to help medium to late career professionals move from one role to the next. So that's helping them understand the types of roles they can do, writing CVs for them, and coaching them through interviews so they can get multiple job offers in a market that's actually quite dominated with a lot of redundancies and a lot of challenges going on at the moment. So very exciting role.
Wow, okay, fantastic. So, before the audit, Tony, what was your Google Business Profile actually like? Was it something you'd actually set up at some point, or was it largely left alone?
So I didn't set one up when I first started the business. I didn't even realize it was a thing, and then someone made
Oh,
it very obviously clear to me that it had to be done. So I spent 30 minutes quickly putting something together. Wasn't much images with it, and yeah, so I just kind of did it because someone told me I had to, and didn't really notice instant results, of course. So I didn't really invest in it. So I wasn't really scored at top of the rank. So I thought it was SEO that I had to do more of.
right.
So I just kind of set it up and forgot about it, to be honest.
Oh, interesting. So, um, how much? So you didn't really understand much about it,
Hmm.
and you didn't really understand the sort of benefits for your business at that point either. Is that right?
Definitely. I mean, I'm an online business, so I didn't really think of. I always thought Google business profiles would be more for plumbers, like electricians, like when you're Googling someone local to your kind of area that you'd try and find someone. So that's why I didn't really think it would make a big difference. I just thought, right, it's better to have my name out there, and it's something that might improve over time.
That's right, because I remember I think there was yeah, there was that sort of misunderstanding of not having a customer entry or a street shop on the high street or a physical
Yeah.
address, sorry, should we say. But actually, being a service area, it's absolutely totally applicable as long as you fill that information, so Google knows where you live, but obviously you're ticking that box for a service area.
Yeah.
So you've got that nice radius map now of the sort of 2 hour area that you're covering. So that's a
Exactly.
great improvement now.
Yeah.
Did you get any inquiries or calls through Google before the audit, or was it just completely off your radar?
Well, I didn't. I did get one person who filled on my website off the back of it, and I knew that came from
Oh,
Google. So that was so at
okay.
least something happened. But I also realized that I didn't have the right phone number on there.
Oh,
So I
yes.
just right from the get go, it was set up to fail really. But yeah, so yeah, no calls because they couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, if anything out of the audit, that was a fantastic, yeah, that was a great spot, if you don't mind me saying, and picking that up
Yeah.
and getting that rectified for you. But yeah, it's the simplest things when you're filling out, and then maybe you've changed your number at a later date or changed your various
No.
details. But
I wish I could even say that. But it
okay.
just shows the lack of effort I put into it. Like I'm quite attention to detail focused, so I couldn't believe that when I realized it. Just went, phone number, hope for the best.
What was there anything that actually made you to decide to get the audit done? Or was there any specific moment or frustration that sort of prompted you to get it done?
Definitely, I knew it was capable of more. So, but because I didn't see it as such a big deal, I didn't really prioritize it. So once I saw the opportunity to sort of work with yourself and think, right, could there be something better? Is there quick wins that I can do? I didn't expect to go as all in as I did with it, to be honest. I kind of thought I'd get a couple of tips and that might make it slightly better. So when I seen it, I knew it had potential to be better. I just didn't know how. So I thought of nothing to lose by trying to find out more about the audit and seeing what would come from it. So that's why I signed
Hmm.
up.
Fantastic. And so when we actually did the audit and from what it revealed, when we went through the audit findings, what surprised you most about your own profile?
Well, again, the phone number being wrong, but
Yes.
I had rebranded my business. So I'd originally started out as a career navigation specialist, which no one knew what that meant, and in hindsight, that was a
Okay.
mistake. So I'd completely changed the name. I said completely career transition coach and rebranded everything. Google was still showing me with the old name. It was still pointing to old pages on the website that weren't applicable. I think I'd done one or two posts that were really out of date and nothing really in there, and I got maybe two or three reviews that were really out of date, and obviously quite a while ago then, since I'd obviously done that. So, just the lack of attention to it was really obvious when I realized that. So yeah, I think that was it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's starting to come back to it now. And but if I recall, we only did this back in April, and
Yeah,
I think you implemented quite a few things straight away, which we'll come on to shortly. But
yeah.
were there any features or capabilities from the Google Business Profile that you didn't know existed?
Um, so definitely the range, the radius that I could cover. That was the
Hmm.
biggest surprise for me. So I again thought I had to do Belfast. I probably naively, if I would have pushed it, thought I could just do UK and Ireland and hope for the best because I'm an online business. And I
Oh yeah,
recognize through the audit that I can't do that. It's got to be that geographical area. So I didn't realize. I thought I just had to pigeon myself as Belfast, but whenever I stretched it from across Ireland, I'm able to cross the border then to the Republic of Ireland and go as far as Dublin, and my catchment
brilliant.
area then is really wide off the back of that. And the beauty of being based in Belfast is that I can be British or Irish depending on what mood I'm in. So,
Yes.
I do have that Irish market I really want to tap into, and I wanted help to do that. So that was the single biggest thing I didn't think it could do.
Yeah, you're one of the few clients I've spoke with. You're bordering internationally, literally, from your geographical radius, which is a great
Yeah.
asset to you. But yeah, obviously, just a reminder to everybody, you can do business with anybody around the world and the rest of the UK, but just from a local map perspective, you're definitely within
Yeah.
that 2 hour radius. So to be within, Ireland and Northern Ireland's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
did seeing everything laid out clearly give you a better sense of what to do, or did it feel actually overwhelming at first?
I wouldn't say overwhelming because it was all quite self-explanatory. Once I was shown it and it was obvious to me what needed to be done.
Yeah.
I also probably underestimated the ability to do the posts and the events and that kind of scheduling and how that can build up the brand. But once I realized how easy it was to do all of that, it just became a no-brainer to really invest a bit of time, not even that much time, to get it up to speed with what needed to be done.
That's right, and obviously you'd made all these changes yourself, Tony. So without us
Mm.
doing any work for you, but where did you start? Just sort of, what was the sort of first thing you did? Maybe it was the phone number. And
Yeah.
how did you decide what to tackle first?
Yeah. So honestly, back to basics: name, phone number. The everything to sort of get those things up and running. But I was lucky that I had the audit when I had no further calls that day. So I decided right now or never while it's fresh in my mind. So I took honestly the next hour. It wasn't a lot of work to get it all implemented.
Wow.
Thankfully, I took really detailed notes whenever we spoke, and I was able to just quickly do a couple of posts, update the name, the details of it, update that map radius, and make sure that that was covered in the right way, update my socials, and sort of make sure that everything connected in that space, WhatsApp, and making sure it was easy for people to communicate with me. So I did all of that within the hour. The bit I probably followed up on, and I still have a bit of work to do, is the posting the services I offer specifically. So I've
Okay.
got high level kind of, I do CV coaching and here's a package, but I definitely could do with spending a bit more time on that sense of it. But other than that, that was the things I dived into right away.
So yeah, so you mentioned already what you haven't got done yet, and something still in your pipeline, so to speak.
Mhm.
Was there any sort of clear set of recommendations, um, about how you felt about going to make those changes, at all?
Again, I felt because you took the time to explain the value to me, that was the key thing.
Mm,
You were able to talk me through where I was on the search engine, where I was
mm.
placing and things. You were able to talk me through the benefits of how others who are doing better could get better results. So it was kind of an instant buy-in to go, right, this needs to be done. And again, the steps that you gave me made it quite easy to do, to the point where I'm like, yeah, I did it. It's not like I could go, I did this and click that and the other, because it was so intuitive. And the guidance that you gave me was great. So yeah, I was able to do that quite quickly.
It really is. I think you've said it several times already. How, once you realise how simple Google makes it, it's
Yeah.
crazy how other business owners don't take advantage of it. But was
Yeah.
there anything? So apart from the post, was there anything else you haven't acted on, or anything that's held you back, so to speak? Because I know it's only been a few months.
Yeah, I think I need to get into better rhythm with the posts as well. So I did a lot up front. I scheduled a lot up front because you could do that. I was doing events and I was scheduling a reminder every week about the events that I was doing just to keep it fresh. But then those events have passed. I've got new events. I've not done them yet. So I just need to keep that rhythm going to make sure that there's ongoing posts and content. Because again, I think it was ranking me higher.
And and just to let everybody know as well, I think when we literally back in April, Google had just announced, I think only a week or 2 weeks before that, they brought the scheduling functionality to the Google Posts update. So I know you were sort of brand new to it, but everybody's got the full advantage now to map out content for the rest of the year with no excuse really. If you once you
Yeah.
can sit down and strategize that. So I know it's only been a few months now, Tony, but and I think it's really important that we sort of share with everybody the impact that this has had on your business.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to take the full credit for for the Google Business Profile, but but what- so if I ask you what has actually changed since you made those updates, um, but I will just sort of, if we just sort of show everybody as well, if we're just going to
Yeah.
share, um, and show the first thing we'll show is, so just to, let me just click here. Um, so obviously we're talking about your Google reviews here. So when we first looked at it back in April, you was only on 4 reviews, which was fine, it's a great
Yeah.
start. But you're now like at 20 reviews. That's like a 400% increase in such a short space of time, in just a handful of months. Is there anything else that's changed? Have you seen an increase in calls or inquiries or visibility?
Yeah, definitely. I think first of all, with the reviews, all I had to do was just go to my previous clients and say, "Look, I'm trying to build my brand on link or on Google. Would you mind doing a quick link?" And there was a link I could share really easily that made people jump in and do that right away. So that number spiked from 5 till about 12, 13 right away, and then I've been keeping that going ever since. And I think that credibility is what's resulted in the calls. When people see that you've 20 Google reviews, we're going to move on to my competitors in the region, and I've got more than them now, whereas I definitely had far less and
Brilliant.
wasn't really appearing on the ranking. So I think as a result of those reviews, and obviously as well as everything else that I did, I am starting to get more calls coming through. I'm starting to get more direct queries to the website. When I look at my analytics, I can see more coming from Google to my website than, well, there wasn't really anything before. And whereas I'm seeing that increase of people clicking and inquiring to find out more, and particularly across the border into Ireland, as I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't have had the same amount of leads had it not been for that change. So
That's
yeah, I'm definitely seeing in the stats a lot more engagement with the profile for sure.
that's fantastic, Tony. And I think if you don't mind me mentioning, which I think is totally worth it right now,
Mm.
was actually the amazing quality of the reviews that you received.
Yeah,
They were really heartfelt and touching as well.
yeah,
I think if you don't mind me saying,
of
when you
course.
shared that response with me, I was like, wow, how. There's one thing just asking for somebody, can you just provide me a review? But then when you get that personal client that you have served and they've actually provided you with that really heartfelt, warming uh, review, and let's not beat around the bush, Tony. What you're doing
Mm.
is you are transitioning and changing people's lives for the better. If they get that new job and they put that all in those reviews, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly, and that blew me away. To be honest, it's nice to know that you help your clients and they've told you the feedback at the time, but for them to retrospectively jump right in and give those opinions and give those reviews so that others could see it really meant a lot. I forgot that I messaged you quite quickly afterwards and was like, Ben, look, couldn't
It's okay.
believe what had actually come through. But yeah, it was very heartfelt and really nice to read. And obviously for prospective clients to see that, it just buys into that trust and that credibility right away.
I think we've also just briefly mentioned it, but we will just show everybody. how you are now ranking locally number one in the local map pack for Career Coach Belfast. I just think that is such a fantastic result, Tony, in the space of since April, what, just a handful of months. You're number
Mhm.
one. I just think it's brilliant. And just to think where you're going to be in 12 months' time, from now, I'm
I know.
expecting to hold that and absolutely blow away the competition from here.
This is it. And I think that's it. Because to set the context, I think I was something like, I might not have even been in the first page. I had to keep going to find
Yeah.
me. It wasn't like I was fourth and clawing close to it. I really wasn't on the radar at all. So yeah, that was definitely something that really took me by surprise about how quickly it would make that difference. Because I assumed you had to get there with sponsorship. You know, I didn't think I could do this
Ah.
on a profile. I just assumed that sponsored ranked higher in some way. But not in this instance. I don't know if the others are sponsored or not, but I'm certainly number one when it comes to looking at that.
No, so we're myth busting as well today, everyone. So no, you
Yeah.
don't need to sponsor to get in the number one for the local map pack in Google. Has anything else shifted that you did not expect, Tony? Like, something you might not have immediately connected back to the Google Business Profile work that we did?
Um, Hard to say. I think for me, yeah, the single biggest shift was just the reviews and the engagement. I think also I've started to include it in. So if I have discovery calls with people, I send a follow up email to say, right, this is the package, this is the thing. If you want to learn more, have a look at my Google reviews. So again, it's that kind of trust building up piece that I share, not just to the profile, but actually directing people to have a look and establish that credibility. So I think that's led to a lot more people actually outside of finding me on Google recognizing what I can do and buying into what I can achieve from there. So I've started to use it as well as a reference point outside of.
Brilliant. And I think it's also worth mentioning. We'll just go back to. Oh,
Mhm.
hang on a second. We'll go back to this screen. It's you've also recently won an award as well. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's correct, isn't it, Tony? I've noticed here.
Yeah,
And you've actually promoted it on your Google Business Profile update. Do you want to just
yeah.
tell everybody about that?
Yeah, thank you. So I've won the Northern Ireland Professional Services of the Year startup organization. So the startup award for that, basically. And it recognizes my unique approach to career coaching because I don't just
Wow.
write a CV and wish people luck. I don't just do interview coaches and wish people luck. I support them throughout the journey and make sure that they've got everything they need until they get a job offer. And that's through different tools, different ways of working, and just recognizing the success of what I've been able to do and pull together. I'm really proud to have won that award. And I'm through now to the UK finals for the UK Startup Award. So find out 9th of September, fingers crossed, whether or not I've won the UK award or not, which
Well,
will be a fantastic achievement.
congratulations for the Northern Ireland Award, Tony. That's absolutely
Thank
fantastic,
you.
and we wish you all the best for in September. And I
Mhm.
won't take the full credit of this, but I think it's fair to say that a Google Business Profile that has the quality reviews that you've received, and the professional entities that have all been populated. It does provide a better context for a business entry, or representation. I think that's fair to say. You still have
Absolutely.
to do all the best work, Tony, to be the best. So, but
Yeah.
it's all there.
This is it. And I think, the credit really does go to you because, again, I wasn't taking it seriously. And going into the process, honestly, my expectations were low, not because of you in any way, but because I didn't recognize the potential benefits of what I could do. So none of that would have happened without me taking the step to review that. So, again, I'm really glad we managed to connect on this because I'd still have the wrong phone number and be at that point.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, if somebody's trying to get through to and they can't, that's the last thing you want. But so after what you've sort of been through at the moment, how does the Google Business Profile actually feel to you as a tool for your business compared to before the audit? Do you actually see, the huge potential for it now?
Oh, absolutely. Again, I really thought it was just something that needed to happen to sort of help. But I didn't really see much benefit of it. I didn't think there'd be many people who'd point that direction. But I'm now proactively pointing people to it. Never mind people proactively finding me when they're searching for a career coach and what they need to achieve. So it's not just there for people to Google and hopefully find me. It's there for me to point them to kind of validate my skills and experience. I've started doing more events, and I think people are finding career coaches when they search locally in Google to see who can do that and speak forward for different opportunities, which is why I post the award on there, and all the events that I do get posted to remind people and let them know, because it just is another source to showcase that credibility and hopefully get me more event bookings and all that kind of stuff so I could speak at more public things. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fantastic. And yeah, because there's three things now, isn't there? There's the Google Post update, there's events, and offers, I think is the other third one.
Yes.
So, you know, if you have a certain offer of some sort, depending on your business, that is also an option available to you. So just to wrap up, Tony, so if you were speaking directly to any other business owner who has a Google business profile and they haven't really touched their business profile, what would you actually tell them?
And, and you might think it takes so much more time than it actually does, and so much more effort to try and get it to the level it needs to be, but it really doesn't. If you've got the right guidance and you take the time to work through the instructions, again, it was an hour and then just a little bit of maintenance per month to make sure those reviews are coming in and those posts are available. The benefits can really, really raise your profile, both locally and beyond, in terms of events, direct bookings, different things that you can do to raise your profile. I'm so glad we connected to do the difference. I didn't think it would have anywhere near the benefits that came along as a result of it. So take the time and invest. It will grow your business if you've got it set up properly.
Brilliant. And I think we've already shown, but do you want to just plug where everybody can find you? It's at McBride.net,
Yeah,
Tony McBride.net, is it? Sorry, go on, correct me.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's TonyMcBride.net for the website. And you can find me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Insta at Tony McBride-career coach. So search those platforms and follow me if you want to learn more.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Tony. It's been really great to speak to you today. And I
You
just can't
too.
believe how far, how much you've achieved really in just a few months. So I think it really just shows you the power of, of the Google business profile that people and business owners can really put into it. So
Absolutely.
thank you ever so much for your time, Tony. It's been great speaking with you. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to trying speaking with another business owner next Tuesday, and I hope to speak to everyone again. Thanks very much, everyone. Cheers. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.